same position.
So I'm calling on behalf of Austin Women Magazine regarding a web feature for July. I'm so glad that we're finally able to speak. I know it's been really hard to find the time, but I'm glad we're doing this now.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited. I'm losing my voice, so sorry for the cracking.
Oh, no worries. Do not worry about that. Is it okay if I record our interview, by the way?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, perfect. So this article is actually going to be a little bit different in its format. Have you ever read any of the Sunday routine articles in the New York Times?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's actually going to be like that. So we're featuring we're featuring different women who work in different industries in Austin. And then we're kind of doing a little Sunday routine of each of them to kind of not profile the businesses, but profile the people behind the businesses, if that makes sense.
Awesome. Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you a couple questions about yourself and Benjamin Soap first, but then after that, I'll be asking you about your routine from kind of start to finish to get to know you and your family and your company.
Okay.
All right, so first, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your background?
Okay, so I am Jay. I started, basically I've always sort of been like a tinkerer of sorts. I've always liked making things. I've always been really creative. I grew up in South Texas in a city named McAllen, and I lived there until I was a freshman in high school, and then I moved up to Austin with my mom and sisters, and did high school in Austin, which was a total culture shift. I mean, you grow up in South Texas, and it's, you're used to just seeing the same people, kind of small town, and then moving to Austin was this really big melting pot, really exciting, just with the different things that you're exposed to. But it was definitely like a culture shock for me being in high school. And then after that, I started working at Starbucks when I was in high school, where I met my now husband, and went off to college. I went to the University of North Texas in Denton, which is north of Dallas, and went to school there, did the whole long distance relationship. And then, luckily for us, it worked out, and right after I graduated, my husband proposed, and then that part of my life, the rest was kind of history. But people always seem to love the fact that we met at Starbucks, it's this romantic Lifetime movie or something.
It's actually really funny because I'm inside Starbucks right now to interview you. So.
Are you really?
Yes, I am.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So we met at Starbucks, and I worked at Starbucks at the end of high school and then through college. They were really flexible with my schedule, so I was able to work at different stores, when I would come home on the weekends to work and see my family and, of course, see my boyfriend, because, a girl will do anything.
Yes.
And so I did that, and then I actually was a nanny for most of college. That was pretty much how I paid to go to college, specifically working with children with autism and special needs. And I worked with some really, really great families here in Austin, and same thing. They were really flexible with my schedule, so I went to school Monday through Thursday in Denton, and then drove home every weekend and worked Friday through Monday morning, and had the summers down here in Austin and did that. But being a nanny was actually, other than being a soap maker, was actually one of my most fun jobs ever, because you basically, you get paid to have fun. You get to be a kid, and you get to, love other people's kids like they're your own, and do really fun, exciting things. And I've always just sort of had this gift, I guess you could say, of working with the special needs community. I respond really, really well to those kids, and I actually taught special ed in a public school environment for about a year. But it's really cool because the little boy that I started nannying when he was 3 years old is getting ready to start high school, and I'm just oh my God, I'm so old.
Time
this is
passes
awesome,
really
but I feel so old. I'm I taught you how to tie your shoes, and you're I'm gonna drive a car soon, But yeah, so let's see, what else about me? I'm not really all that interesting. There's let's see, so after high school graduation, I actually took sort of an interesting, sort of an interesting decision to go to Africa for 3 weeks. And I went on a medical mission trip and got to really work hands-on, with children and with women in these villages, that are completely remote. No electricity, no internet, no running water. So it was a great experience for me. Growing up in South Texas, I come from a pretty poor background. It's not something that, I share with a lot of people, but it is who I am. And I have this saying of, like, never forget where you came from. Like, no matter how big or small the business is or how, busy you get in life, I kind of constantly try to remind myself, like, never to forget my roots. The little brown girl in the hood with the really big curly hair, like, running around. But so Africa was great for me because it really it makes you really see outside the box. And it's more than, the stuff that you see on TV or the, donate for, whatever cause. When you're there and you're actually seeing it, I mean, coming back to Austin and, like, walking into a Starbucks or walking into a Costco, you just have this moment of, like, whoa, like, the world is so much bigger, And so for me, it was really good because going there made me realize, I was young. I was, 22 years old with this college degree, with an engagement ring on my finger with my entire world and life ahead of me. But it made me really kind of look at myself and say, okay, Jay, like, what do you want to do with your life? Like, you've met this amazing man that you love and you want to build your life together. I knew I wanted to have children. I've known since I was a little girl I wanted to be a mother. But what I really wanted, like, was it about, a big house in the suburbs and having, like, this perfect little cookie cutter life? Or was it about, maybe money isn't everything. Maybe I try to do what I love and just be happy and sort of finding the balance with all of that. So getting back from there, I worked in a foster care adoption agency for a little bit, and then really, honestly, just went back to nannying because I loved it so much, and I really missed being with those kids, because I had basically, I'd known them since some of them. I mean, one of them I met just a few weeks after he was, brought home from the hospital. So I went back and did that, and then my husband and I, we got married, and then we decided we wanted to start a family. He's a little bit older than me. Of course, leave that out of the interview because he hates when I tell people that. But so he was like, I'm getting too old, and I'm like, seriously, like, you are not that old. Like, get over it. You're going to be fine. So we have 2 kids. We have Sophie and Jacob, and they keep me very busy. But they're wonderful. As anybody that's reading this or that you talk to that has kids, I mean, it's work. It's 24/7. There is no turning it off. It doesn't matter if you try to go on vacation or you go out for the night with your girlfriends and put on your high heels and put your eyebrows on and your lipstick. They definitely keep you on your feet. But the great thing about them is that they basically inspired me to start the business.
Oh, wow.
Because I had a corporate job for a little while, and I realized I never see my kids. I was, for one, you have to swallow the fact that you're paying basically another mortgage to daycare. Yeah. So there's that. And I mean, I was waking them up in the morning, dropping them off at daycare, picking them up before dinner, feeding them, bathing them, go to bed. And I was like, I'm missing out on everything that I said I wanted to be and to do when we had children. And so I sort of had like this, sort of moral dilemma of, well, I want to contribute financially to our household because that's just the kind of person that I am. I wanted, my husband works very hard, but I wanted to contribute something, not just, oh my God, I cleaned the baseboards and I scrubbed the ceiling fan, And so it was great because it made me realize, you know what, you can still do something for you that will help me with my tinkerer, my creative brain, but I can still be a stay-at-home mom. I can have play dates. I can take them to the Thinkery. We can go to the park. We can go swimming. Do you know what I mean? Because these years you don't get back. I mean, they're only going to be 2 once. You're only going to see those first steps once. So they were actually my inspiration for starting BEN1 Soap in the fall of 2014, mainly because it was something I could do from home and still be with them. Mixing in the laundry room in the middle of the night or during nap time. And then we eventually upgraded and we moved into the guest room. And we no longer work in the laundry room, thank goodness. Because I look back and I'm like,